ability to be great. You have to be willing to activate the great from within. It starts with you, and it starts right now. Yo, Tyler Davis and Greg Thomas in the house.
Back at it.
Yeah, Monday morning, birds chirping.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
Time to get after it.
It is. Sun's coming up a little early these days.
It does.
Oh, I can dig it.
It's kind of nice, though.
Oh, yeah, daylight savings. You remember back in the day, like when all the shows would change an hour because we're like the only place in the country that didn't have it?
Yes.
Like, dude.
Yeah.
Clowning. Like
yeah.
Dude, like we thought our area was autonomous from the rest of the country, right? When it came to, changing times.
Little bitty island.
Oh yeah, we bucked it. We bucked the trend. They should have kept doing it, to be honest with you. I remember there were shows you could watch during certain times of the year, and then the other times they were past your bedtime.
Right.
Oh
You're
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah. And not everybody had TVs in their room back then.
No, so by the time you get back on schedule, you miss season. You don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, right. But yeah, dude, this week, I really realized there's a double-edged sword out there called autonomy. Right?
Yeah.
No one wants to have anybody looking over their shoulder. They're like, they got this whole I got this mentality. Like, hey, I can control myself, or, I want to work for myself. I can't work for anybody else. And there's a lot that comes with that.
There is. Yeah, there's definitely two sides to the coin. I mean, it's awesome to have that. I think we all want that. But
right.
If you don't have that, who's motivating you?
Well, that's the whole thing. Do you even know what your reps are? Do you even know what the process is? Or you just want to go out there and wing it?
Yeah, just kind of like you said, birds chirping, sun's up.
Are
you out of bed? Or are you hitting snooze?
Because you can.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of opportunities that you have when you're like in the world of autonomy, where you can get up whenever you need to get up. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. You're not bound by anything.
Yeah, but you are bound by something, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah, and that's where it comes down to your fiber optics, right? How are you wired?
Yep.
Can you truly handle it? Are you really disciplined? Are you really organized? Are you really able to get over yourself?
Big questions.
Big questions, right?
But you got to ask yourself those, because, I mean, if you want the autonomy and you want that lack of responsibility, you better be prepared for the responsibility.
I would say there's, even 3 things to remember about autonomy.
It's pretty wild how that works.
We're just going to roll right into them. Not all of them, but some of them, right? There is that dichotomy, and you better be aware of it, right? So number 1, with great power comes great responsibility. I think.
I love it.
Oh yeah,
Peter Parker.
Oh, you know it. That's Uncle Ben sitting there, give it to him.
Yeah.
And that's the truth though. Like you want to be autonomous. You want to be self-employed. You want to go out there and make it rain, make the phone ring, and be everything to everybody like in your realm, in your professional world. You better know some things that you're going to get all the rope in the world to hang yourself by.
Yes. Yeah. Careful what you ask for.
And really be careful who you surround yourself with.
That's more important, for sure.
Especially in our industry, you can find yourself manifesting this group of people that all kind of operate the same way, right? They may have the same strengths, but more importantly, they may have the same weaknesses.
Right, and it becomes a circle where you just trade excuses.
That's it, revolving door, right?
Yep.
What it really is the justification station. Oh, see, I'm not the only one that operates like this. I'm not the only one that struggles with this. Well, you don't have to be the only one that struggles with it, but you do have to realize the responsibility that comes with what you're signing up for, what you're putting yourself through, what commitment or lack of commitment that you're willing to make to the ultimate outcome.
Yeah. Is it E.T.?
Yeah.
Even when it talks about everybody want to eat, don't nobody want to go hunt.
That's exactly right. Like everybody, he's got a bunch of them, right? Everybody wants to shine like a diamond, but no one wants to get cut. They want to put in the reps. Just start listening to Atomic Habits, right? Talking about the compound effect, 1%. Are you moving the needle 1% every day? If you're in an autonomous fashion, meaning that you are your island, so to speak, like you are given the ability to make the decisions, make the calls, and operate it like a business, you better be improving on things incrementally every single day, and that is your responsibility.
It is.
I mean,
it is.
And you have to take the bull by the horns. No one's going to sit here and think you're this great technician and just bestow you with all the business. You got to be more than just a good technician.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you got to be your own hype man. Until you get G Money in the mix. That didn't start right away. I'm 17 years in the game and finally got a hype man. You know that? That didn't happen overnight.
No, it doesn't. And I mean, having the ability to choose your response is one of the unique human traits that we get to flex if we choose to. I mean, the word responsibility, if you separate it, responsibility. Like you have the ability to choose it.
But that's the thing. It's like the ability gets burned. Like, you know what I mean? You're burning. You're going past go and you're getting these $200 and you're just going and putting it on black. You know what I mean? All you want to do is roll the dice versus getting a leg up. You just move the needle within your asset category, within your cash flow by 1%, but then you blew it. because in your mind it was free money.
No,
You know,
ain't nothing free.
Ain't nothing free, including your time. You want to be a master of ceremonies? Okay, be a slave to your calendar.
Yeah.
Put everything on there. Stay organized. Be a slave to organization.
Yeah, I've had that conversation with my son so many times. Like, the only difference between people is what they do with the 24 hours they're given.
Oh, yeah.
Because we all get the same 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And every single day of your life, you're trading 24 hours for it.
Well, that's it. You know,
Make the most of it.
You have a plan.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, let's break it down. You know, making the most of it's kind of like the outcome, right? Like, you know, did you break down the process, right? You work for 8 hours, you sleep for 8 hours. What do you do with the other 8?
Better be prepared.
Let it land, folks. What are you doing with the other 8? Are you moving the needle? You want to be your own man? You want to be your own woman? You want to be the boss? You got to realize that comes with great responsibility.
Yeah,
so, number 2, be prepared to be a lone wolf at times.
Yeah. Out there all by yourself.
You have to, autonomy comes with the ability to sustain yourself emotionally, physically, psychologically, and financially in a lot of ways. Like, look, if you're not making the money, you can't have the staff, and then you can't do it all, right? I mean, you got to be able to operate and be able to be the one that's making the decisions.
You have to, right or wrong, make a decision. Because at
You gotta
some
make a
point,
call.
you're just going to stagnate. You're just going to sit there and burn yourself out.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
nothing's happened.
Well, then you get caught up in indecision, right? Or as we said many times, paralysis by analysis.
Right.
You're thinking, oh, this has got to be perfect. This has got to be that. No, you got to
No.
keep moving. Promoting.
Progress over perfection.
That's it. You know, perpetual motion. Okay. You want to feel like you're on a mission? Hey, it's easy to not feel alone because you got the mission keeping you company.
Right.
You got the process keeping you company. When you start feeling like you don't know where you're going to go with things, that's when you start feeling alone. You start feeling like, I don't know what's going to happen here, because you don't have a plan. You're winging it.
And it gets scary out there sometimes.
yeah.
That's when you buckle down and make the plan.
You think that lone wolf out there doesn't know what to do?
Right.
I bet they know how to drum up a meal.
Yeah, they're not looking back at their circle of friends they were trading excuses with, like, I'm going to go back over there.
Here's what I got to do to survive.
Yep.
Here's what I got to do to have a life that I want, the way I want to do it, when I want to do it, okay? And I want to be proud of what I'm doing here. That requires a plan. So, lone wolf, I mean, they're not going to survive. You wouldn't see too many lone wolves if they didn't have a plan.
Right.
If they didn't know what to do, okay? They're not sitting back and waiting for, something to fall over dead in front of them just so they can get an easy meal. It doesn't work like that.
No, it does not.
It definitely doesn't. So be prepared to be a lone wolf at times. And lastly, you will benefit from staying 5 moves ahead.
Yeah.
Right? Because what are you doing? You're removing yourself from every individual occurrence and every bit of moment to see it for what it is. Like a chessboard, like, hey, you can't just be worried about your next move. What's the systemic impact of that move?
Right. Yeah, you got to be thinking strategically,
Oh,
5
yeah.
steps ahead.
Well, just like the mortgage business, we're sitting here doing stuff. You change one thing on a loan, you better go through and check everything else to see what else does this impact by making this change.
Yeah, you
know?
pull one leg of the chair out, it's going to fall over.
You raise the loan amount. You change how much their down payment is. The opposite of that. Do they have the money?
Right.
Or do you just think they have the money? Did you even ask them? Did you run through it? Do you even know your outs? But everything's tethered to everything. So you really benefit if you want to be in an autonomous network where you got no one looking over your shoulder and you're only responsible for yourself or responsible for building the team and doing it your way or putting your stamp on something, leaving your legacy on something. You better be able to see something from the 50,000-foot view.
Right. Yeah.
Simple.
You have to. You have to. Otherwise, it's going to blow right by you.
Oh, you're going to be caught up. There's no way you can be proactive if you don't ever do that. You're going to constantly be in a state of reactivity.
Right.
And then,
That's
who
the
knows?
opposite of choosing your response.
Well, that is, and it makes it really easy to be a victim at that point because you are hyper-focused on everything happening to you. You're not moving the needle. You're not setting yourself up for success. You're not taking advantage of moving the needle incrementally day after day in 15 or 16 different categories. It's not one or two big things that get people where they need to be. It's the 15 to 16 little things they do day in, day out, and try to move that needle 1% each day.
Exactly.
But hey, you're going to get caught up in the fantasy though, right? It's just like all those people that win the lottery and then they're broke a year later. It's because they just went straight to outcome. There was no process, there was no planning, there was no budgeting or changing habits or anything like that. You want to step into big boy world, you want to be autonomous, you want to be able to make your own decisions, be a shot caller, you better remember these things.
Yeah, you have to. Otherwise, it's going to sneak up on you.
It's going to be a short run.
Yeah, you're going to be autonomous.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't going to have things to do.
No, yeah, exactly. You're going to be autonomous and hopefully your money's right.
Right, yeah.
Oftentimes it's not. So, 3 things to remember about autonomy, other than we always want it. Okay, There's people that think they deserve it even. There's this entitlement, like, why are you looking over me? Well, hey man, if I'm here telling you, okay, there's probably something we need to talk about. And I probably care.
Yep.
It's when I'm not talking to you that you know you got a problem.
See,
okay?
and that's a big one right there. I think a lot of times it's easy to think, well, they don't care. But a lot of times, man, it comes from a place because I see the potential in you. So I'm going to push you.
I'm invested in you.
Yeah.
You know, like, look, I'm going to say this to you because no one else has.
Yep.
And instead of letting you continue to keep going down this road, let's talk about it because I actually give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about that again, like, hey, when you actually care, you know, people, once they get past their feels, they might start to realize that, you know, you were trying to help them, you know?
Right.
So if you want help in trying to embrace autonomy, you got to remember these 3 things, among many others, but with great power comes great responsibility. Be prepared to be a lone wolf at times. You have to be able to figure that out and figure things out on your own and sustain yourself.
Yes.
Okay? And believe in yourself and have the confidence to be able to do that. You think a lone wolf looks like a punk? No. He looks like a boss.
Yeah.
Be a boss. And lastly, you will benefit from having a chess mind, okay? Look 5 moves ahead. Realize that everything's tethered to everything. And if you really want to move that needle, it's not going to be 1 or 2 big things that do it.
No.
It's going to be the 13 to 15 little things. When
Little
you break it down. Break it down. How do I move the needle? A little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And that's a mindset, people. That's what we're talking about. And it's all about moving that mindset. And we're going to keep doing it. And we're going to hit you next week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Get after it. I want to take a quick minute to thank our sponsor, ccmindiana.com, for all your mortgage needs. Very competitive, ready to rock, ready to help you be a pre-approved buyer that can compete. Ready to get pre-approved for your next mortgage? Stop by ccmindiana.com and see how we can help.